The following is a presentation of 13ABC Action News. Now, your table is ready. Join 13ABC's Jeff Smith with the decision makers of Northwest Ohio and Southeast Michigan. This is the Roundtable.
And hi, a good Sunday afternoon. Thank you so much for joining us here on the Roundtable program. Over the last month or so, Northwest Ohio, Southeastern Michigan, and the country for that matter, really paid attention to a story that was going on just to our north in Bedford Township, and that it stretched all the way to Ann Arbor, Michigan. The story of Hunter and Braden Gandy, you see them right there, making what they called the CP Swagger from Bedford, a two-day trek from Bedford up to Ann Arbor, all to draw awareness to cerebral palsy, what Braden faces his daily life. And Hunter really wanted to bring attention to that. We are taping just before Father's Day. We are airing a couple of weeks after that. But I thought, what a better tribute to what these two went through and their family has gone through than to have Dad on here with us with Hunter Gandy. Sam Gandy joining us with Hunter Gandy. Gentlemen, good to see you. Thank you so much for taking some time to be with us.
Yeah, thank you for having us here.
Sam, let's go back a couple of weeks and talk a little bit about the planning stages for doing something like this. Obviously, your boy Hunter, he is there for Braden every step of the way, and literally and also figuratively. But as you start to get the idea of doing something like this, what were your thoughts going into it?
I knew it was a very big undertaking. We kind of had to scale Hunter back to something this small because it originally started as an idea to walk all the way to the Mackinac Bridge. So over 2 weeks, then when the idea came back is to the University of Michigan, Hunter really wanted to do it all in one day. So really it was a big undertaking, but it got scaled back, which it needed to. It had to be something that was manageable, but we knew it was going to be hard. I had taken that concern to Hunter that this is a difficult thing. It's going to be harder than what you think, and he said to me that that was the point. He said it wasn't supposed to be something that was easy for him to do. It was supposed to be hard.
Right.
He was trying to demonstrate the difficulties his brother went through. He had to do something that was difficult for him to do.
Yeah, this is one of those things, and I think for people who aren't familiar, it's hard to be not familiar with the story at this point. I know you said you've done tons of interviews over the last couple of weeks, but bring people up to speed on what you wanted to get across to folks.
We just wanted to get the word across about what cerebral palsy is. There's a lot of people out there who don't know what it is, or maybe they don't know how to help people with cerebral palsy. So we just wanted to inform them about the issues that people who have CP have to go through just daily in their lives.
The walk was forefront to people, what you did that day, leading up to it, talking about it. But as you're saying, there was a message out there. Did you deliver that message? Did you get to talk to people about CP?
Yeah, we actually reached a lot more people than we had ever planned to. And really, I think we've done a pretty good job on getting the message out about CP.
Yeah, and Braden, how did he do during the walk? What was said between the two of you as you were walking for 2 straight days?
Well, I thought he did really well. He was in pretty bad shape for a lot of the time. He was hurting, getting chafing problems and blisters, but he fought through it. We asked him if he wanted to continue. There were times that we weren't sure if we were going to be able to. He made that decision. He said he wanted to keep going through it.
This was on the back of his legs where you were holding him? Where was he getting the blisters?
He was getting it on his inner thigh area from rubbing up against my hips for so long. But like I said, he pushed through it. And really, I think it was a lot because of all the support we were getting. All the people there cheering us on and walking with us. I think that really helped him.
Was there a moment where you thought to yourself, we've made our point, let's stop?
Yes, there was. We were sure at some times if we were going to be able to finish, but we wanted to. We said that we were going to do this, and we were doing it because it was hard, and we knew we had to push through it, just like what people who have cerebral palsy have to go through every day in life. They can't just give up. They've got to push through it, and that's what we were trying to get across.
You're how old?
I'm 14.
14, and going to be in what year out at Bedford next year?
I'm going to be a freshman.
You're going to be a freshman at the high school. Dad, I told you before we started today, I said Hunter is mature beyond his years in what he has done, and I'm sure what he does every day.
Yeah, this is Hunter all the time. I mean, people are seeing this now. This is what I've already seen. I mean, I'm a dad and I want to brag about my kids, but Hunter is just, he's always been kind of a step above. It seems a lot of kids his age that he has this maturity. He thinks in a different way than you would expect him to think. He's still a kid. He still enjoys the things that kids do. But yeah, he has a way that he looks at the world that it makes me proud to be his dad.
And on Father's Day, as we said, we're taping a few days before Father's Day, airing a few weeks later. But your message to dads out there about their kids and how important this relationship is.
Yeah, I mean, I believe in being a friend with your kid. I mean, I know some dads don't see it that way. Hunter is my friend. I'm his dad too. I mean, he knows what I expect from him from the beginning. There are certain things that I've always expected. We've always expected my kids to have respect. Respect for their elders and respect for other people, respect for other people's property. Just the way you carry yourself. You have to, like I say respect, compassion. Caring about other people's needs. That's been a major theme in our family, and the fact that we have Braden, we have Braden who's had all these issues. It's just brought that theme of compassion out way more than I think that we could have ever planned. I mean, we have 4 children, and they're so close. We're close as a family. Everything we do together. And I think that's really, it's strengthened that bond between all of us. And when you have somebody you have to constantly help, like Braden, get through this daily struggles, it brings us closer together. But it's changed us to the point where it's made us all better people.
And you work outside of the home as well?
Yes.
So obviously that adds to kind of time management and trying to make sure everything clicks. From your perspective, you've got 3 others at home, and of course mom and dad, and trying to make everything click. How do you see things in this month of Father's Day?
Well, I think it really, just having this family really brings us together. All of us being able to help out and just love each other, I think it really brings us together.
Talk about the reception. I touched on that before we started today. I was saying you get to Ann Arbor. Take me through as the steps are leading up to your finish line.
Well, we actually left that part of our journey in charge of the University of Michigan, and I have to say they did an amazing job. They really did great.
Where was the finish line physically for people who are familiar and or unfamiliar with U of M?
Our finish line was the Bana Wrestling Center, which is the wrestling center.
You are a wrestler.
Yeah,
yes.
I'm a wrestler. But it was the University of Michigan's wrestling team's practice facility.
Okay. So you're getting closer and getting closer to that finish line. Walk me through that. Remember what it looked like, what it felt like, what it sounded like.
Well, the closer we got there, the more people were there cheering us on. We had people lined up and down the streets, groups of people that would come and walk with us, and they just kept adding on as we got closer. And really, it was just amazing to see all the people there waiting for us at the finish.
There was an opinion piece I wanted to point out in the Detroit Free Press. I've got it pulled up here online right now, and the headline, Dad is, he ain't heavy. Teen carries brother on 40-mile cerebral palsy awareness walk. The attention this grabbed, surprising?
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't what we were originally envisioning. Really, at the beginning, we were thinking of something was going to be more of a Bedford community, hopefully coming together behind us.
Right.
He was going to do
like
this
the
hard
stadium
thing.
effort. Trying to raise money for the football team.
Exactly. Even whenever we went up to Michigan to let them know and see let them understand that we'd like to end this walk there and kind of get their permission. It wasn't really with the intent of having them throw this big reception or pull out all the stops and do anything for us at all. It was just kind of like you won't be upset if we use this as our final stop, and then they jump behind it, and they put their support behind it, and then I remember when the Blade published the article and then the AP picked it up, it just started going everywhere, and honestly that was huge surprise for us, and it just seemed like it snowballed, and his message got out to, so much more than what we even could have ever imagined.
Now we are airing, as I said, we are taping a few weeks past when we're actually airing, but you also were contacted, I understand, Rebecca Rainier here, who did the story with you guys initially. She said you guys, MIS was another contact point. Tell me about that, because obviously the big weekend of racing over Father's Day.
Yeah, well, the thing about MIS, though, yeah, we were contacted and they wanted to have us up, and we already have another commitment.
No kidding.
We're actually, they're throwing out the first pitch for the Mud Hens game. So,
Oh, how about that?
Yeah, so and that was something actually even before the walk, we'd already committed to that, yeah.
Yeah. So who
Yep.
physically, we've probably already seen it by now,
Yeah.
but leading up to it, who is doing, are all of you going out to the mound? How's that working?
I'm not sure how it's going to work. I know Braden and Hunter will be, and that's really the two that deserve to be out there. So, yeah, they'll be out on the mound.
And that happens on Father's Day?
It'll be on Father's Day, 6 o'clock game, yeah.
How about that? Well, obviously, this is snowballing. This is having an effect. How do you keep it going? Because obviously, the message doesn't stop after the walk ended.
No, we want to continue spreading the message. I mean, we have all the media's attention right now. We just need to tell people.
Strike
about
while
it
the
now.
fire's hot, right?
Yeah. I mean, we've gotten all these interviews. It's a little overwhelming with all of it, but I mean, this is what we were asking for. We're asking for people to, listen to us and listen to our message, and they're listening now. So it's really just there for us to go get.
Does this turn into a foundation? Does this turn into something bigger, Dad, you think?
That's a possibility, and we're still discussing a lot of things. I think the next project, which I've already put out there, is we want to raise the funds to be able to
A playground,
actually
right?
build a playground. Yeah, a handicap accessible playground for Braden School. We don't have that in the Bedford community. I mean, we've traveled up to Monroe, taken Braden up to. There's a wonderful playground up in Monroe, Michigan that we can take him on. I mean, where he can take his walker and get right up to the slides. Don't have to worry about steps. It's all ramps.
Yeah.
It's got soft surfaces at the bottom that his wheelchair slides over easily instead of the mulch, which he has troubles with. But we'd like to have something like that in the Bedford community, and that's the next thing that's our next project.
This is Douglas Road?
At Douglas Road, yeah.
Okay.
Douglas Road Elementary.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
gentlemen, thank you so much. Dad, happy Father's Day. A
Well, thank
couple of
you.
weeks late. Yeah, we're Aaron here. And Hunter, fantastic job. And just amazing. And like I said, this is beyond your years. And it probably won't really hit home until later on. But we will continue to watch and be interested in as you guys carry this journey on.
Well, thank you so much for helping us share the word.
Definitely, definitely. And stay right there. We will
Thank you.
continue here on the Roundtable right after this.